It's Friday, everybody, and happy Friday, happy Las Vegas. I'm nighting up today. The nights are going. Look, I even have my tennis shoes. I didn't put them on yet, but I'm going to wear those two today. So it's a great day in the neighborhood, as I've heard. Let's see. Let me get out of here so if anybody jumps on, I can see you. Okay, let's get started with the stats. We have a really big topic today. Zillow, what they've done, what they're doing in Washington State, and what they're doing here. So let's get started. First of all, we have 0.74 months of inventory. People are listing homes, though. We listed 170 homes yesterday. We closed 139. Congratulations to everybody. We put 98 under contract, and we're selling 118 homes a day, which is awesome. Awesome. I just can't believe it. It's very exciting. We've done $1.46 billion more of business in the first 56 days, 56 days, because can't count a day yet, in 2021 than last year. Amazing. Hi, who's viewing up there? Give me a shout out in the comments. I'd love to know what your comments are today. Love people to engage today. Interest rates have gone up a little bit, just so everybody knows. However, if they go up from 3% to 3.5%, I don't think that's going to kick the market too hard. If you've got a $300,000 mortgage, hi everybody, thanks for joining me today. If you have did a little math, if you can see it, probably not. Anyway, I did a little bit of math. If it's 3% on a $400,000 home, and I've got it down there in the MLS stat sheet today, your mortgage is $1,263 P&I. If it's 3.25%, it's $1,305. Not a big difference. And if it's 3.5%, it's $1,347, which is $84 a month difference between 3 and 3.5 on a $300,000 home. So that's $1,008 a year. Probably not going to knock somebody out of the market for buying a home. It'll affect some people, of course, but I mean, it's not major. So don't anybody panic about that, right? We know that things are changing, and we're just going to keep our mindset in the right place. We're not going to lose our perspective. And don't worry about what you don't have. Worry about what you have, right? What you have, not what you don't have. That's your perspective. That has to be your perspective going forward. And I have up here, social norms are changing because Facebook and LinkedIn and all these platforms, can't even name them all anymore. They're all on here. 12 years ago, we didn't have them. So we've got so many things. Life is changing so fast. We didn't have Uber. We didn't have so much online dating like we have today. We didn't have Airbnb. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have, I said Uber. I mean, things are changing. So we have to change with them. But that doesn't mean we get negative. We stay positive. Good morning, Frank. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I don't know if anybody's seen this video, but I'm going to get right at it in just a second. I want to show you, though, for everybody's perspective, okay? Let me see if I can't put myself in the corner here. No, wrong way. You think I would know. Nope, it's not going to do it. Okay, hang on, everybody. Zillow last year. Year to date last year, they had done 410 homes. And this year, there we go. This year, they've only done 248 homes. So Zillow hasn't done what they did last year. And what that tells me, and forget the Zillow part of this, that tells me that you all are out there listing homes and that you can compete against this and I'm going to call this the unethical Z. So, and we're going to watch this video now. I wanted to show you that first, but let's watch this. If you haven't seen this, I think it's had like 3,600 views. It was just posted yesterday. This is about an ethical violation that Zillow did to a Washington State real estate agent. Good morning, Karen. So happy to have you here this morning. And Frank, two people that are going to spread the word here for us. let's get started. I'm going to play this video. You will be amazed.
Mortgage guys and gals, you want to get a deal done fast, you got to go to Remington Wholesale. 24 to 48, across the board, premium pricing. They're simply the best. If you haven't had the Remington experience, you really need to have, right, Brian?
I agree.
You need to have the Remington experience. Click the banner you see right here on your screen, right below this video, and get that Remington experience.
I mean, we keep saying this. One of the advantages of being a broker is that you have multiple choices. You're not just stuck with one and maybe 1.5 wholesalers. There's a whole bunch of great wholesalers out there. Find out who they are. Remington could be one of them for you. So check this out. An agent, her name is Dee Dee, up in the state of Washington outside of Seattle, decided to sell her home. So Dee Dee uploaded it into the KWLS, that's a Keller Williams listing system. It's an internal KW portal. And to her local multiple listing system, the broader MLS for all agents. Seems reasonable enough to me, don't you think?
And so after posting her property, something happened, and then this is what she posted into a Facebook group. And I think this will be to your great surprise. Here it goes. Yeah, so I decided to list my personal property for sale, and this is the email I received from Zillow after my property was listed, offering me their assistance and giving me tips on how to change Realtors.
Yikes!
Yes, I will be taking this up with the MLS, and I will be coaching my new clients around the emails that will soon be coming their way from Zillow. Not right.
Okay, so it seems... Well, let's just not dilly-dally about this one. Just a smidge underhanded, don't you think? I don't know. One might even say illegal. So maybe that's just too strong. Certainly, though, this would be enough to get their real estate brokerage license revoked in the state of Washington, don't you think, Frank?
I would think so. I hope so.
I don't know. What did Zillow send to the seller? Now keep in mind, it appears Zillow was sending this out to a seller of a home without the knowledge that the seller is also a licensed real estate agent in good standing. This is what is generally referred to as getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar. So what did Zillow send this seller then, Frank?
Yeah, they sent this to the seller, Dee Dee, not realizing that she was an agent. So here goes. Realizing that your listing agent isn't getting the job done can be disheartening, especially if you've signed a contract with the agent that outlines their responsibilities. The good news is that plenty of sellers change their real estate agent for one reason or another, even if the agreement hasn't expired. Both parties have to be willing to part amicably, and there's a right way and a wrong way to let your agent know things aren't working out. There are many reasons for switching to a new agent. Here are a few of the most common. Lack of communication, your agent doesn't answer when you call and is generally hard to reach, or they don't provide updates after showings. Lackluster marketing tactics. Your agent doesn't make much effort to promote your listing on multiple channels. They aren't investing in paid marketing options, or they may not offer professional photography. Unreliable, unavailable. Your agent doesn't give you advance notice for showings or misses appointments.
You're laughing. No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
Yikes! You know, here's the thing. Zillow has no idea what the relationship that agent might have with his seller. They are just proactively throwing this filth out there. I don't know, Frank, it's one hell of a way to plant a seed, isn't it? Now, gotta say, that sounds pretty damning. Ask yourself, what would happen if, say, a RE/MAX broker sent this message to a seller on a listing of a Berkshire agent? Really? That's just an example. What if any real estate broker did this to any other broker? Would they have a license at the end of the day? And the answer is very clearly no. No. So question, when this complaint is brought against Zillow, as it was explained to us that that's happening, what penalty will be levied against Zillow? Will they still be able to act in the capacity as a real estate broker in the state of Washington? Now, my personal thinking is, I hate to say it, but probably. Further, what about other states? Are other sellers who have agents being targeted by Zillow to try to convince them to drop their agents undoubtedly in favor for what will eventually be a Zillow agent? After all, they're a broker.
You know, Gary Keller has said it's all about controlling the data. So question, is it a simple coincidence that Zillow just bought showing time for $500 million, which would presumably give them access to sellers? Don't know, just asking. Is that data being used to target your clients? Not sure. Sure, don't know, but here's what we do know.
This is from the 2020 Q4 earnings report from Zillow, which is a public record. Now, when you think about what Zillow is doing right now, I want you to think about that in the context of what I'm going to read to you from what Zillow said. A great reshuffling is underway as people rethink where they live with a new lens on flexibility and possibility. As a result, we believe residential real estate will continue its brisk trajectory as people have an increasing desire and ability to move. Customers are simultaneously showing hunger for the kind of integrated, seamless experience Zillow can now provide. We now have the building blocks in place, and our story ahead will be about execution and scaling as we strive to improve the digital experience for the broader industry alongside our partners. Yikes.
So there you have it, man. What the heck is going on? What are your thoughts? I don't care if you're mortgaged on this as well. Give us your thoughts on this. And
yeah, Zillow's writing loans too, right?
Yeah, they're writing mortgages too.
Hell,
so,
your title, what's your opinion?
You know, and of course for our real estate friends out there, what the heck? I mean, can you believe this actually happened? What are your thoughts? Let us know down below. Do us a favor and forward and share this one. Man, this discussion needs to be had. And if you're meeting us for the first time, subscribe free in your upper right-hand corner. And we'll catch up with you later here at the National Real Estate Post. Adios.
Wow. Wow. I don't know what you think, but I'm amazed. I am just amazed at this. Really. Amazing. So I commented, of course, and what I commented with is something that I don't know that you are aware of or not. However, let's see if I have it. Probably didn't have time to get it. Okay. So what it says in a Zillow listing locally is, and I remarked to these guys what this says, and it says basically you have to use the Zillow RPA, and it gives you a link to .loop, and you have to enter your name and your email address, and then you have to fill that form out. Okay, it's not our RPA, and that I'm having an issue with this morning because I'm not so sure they can do that. So let me just show you here. I printed it all out. It's I don't know, many pages. Okay, they go through. It's the real estate purchase agreement resale summary, and they're basically summarizing what you have to go through for the offer. Okay, they've got all of this, 2 pages of the summary, and then the offer. And the offer is not like our offer. Now, it may have been approved. You know, it's like these guys are saying, we don't know. Well, we don't know. We don't know if it's been approved. If Zillow's saying that we have to use their RPA, maybe it's been approved. But here's my problem with it, everybody. One of my problems, and I've only briefly looked at this because I didn't have enough time to really go through it. Exhibit B of the offer, guess what it says? It says Zillow is a real estate brokerage. Zillow Home Loans, and it says what the origination fee is. This is in the offer that you have to use for your buyer if it's a Zillow listing, and they tell you have to use it. Discount points, third-party fees, and the Zillow closing services. They have a title company. Yes, they have a title company, and what the fees are right there for their title company. Now, I know this is so well thought out. We have to use their offer. We have to show this as Exhibit B. Everybody, Exhibit B is showing everybody all the companies that Zillow has. And so it says set forth as the estimated charge or range of charges for the settlement services listed. You are not required to use the listed providers as a condition of this purchase, sale of the subject property for the settlement of any loan or to obtain any access to our settlement services. There are frequently other settlement service providers available with similar services. You are free to shop around to determine You are free to shop around. They are so taking control of our clients. It's amazing to me. And this is from them, not our board. You are free to shop around to determine that you're receiving the best services and the best rate for these services. If that isn't selling, I don't know what is. I'm really upset about this, and I don't know what we're going to do about it. I don't know what's going to happen here, but times are changing. Social norms are changing. And I'm going to get with Jimmy Dague this afternoon, and we're going to go over this because Jimmy Dague and I teach contracts. We teach this in the contracts class for your core classes to renew your license. And I want to also say, okay, here's the last page. And guess what? You've got to give them, you got to send this to your buyer. You have to send this to your buyer. You have to send this to your buyer, okay? So guess now what they have? Your buyer's information. I don't know, everybody. And what's Margaret? Margaret, what are you saying? Yes, we've had many contracts, she's saying. We've had many different contracts before. The one we are using now, I don't think we have a requirement for a you know, you might be right, Margaret, but I will tell you this. In my E&O insurance, everybody has to use the same contract. So I'm sure that's going to have to change, evidently, because one of the things about a broker, being a broker, is that, you know, when your agents submit an RPA, a purchase agreement for their buyer, you know the protections the brokerage has, you know the protections the buyer has, and you know the protections that the seller has. And our E&O insurance is very strict. It's very strict because, I mean, if there's not the proper verbiage in here to protect all parties, we could be at risk as brokers. You know, we don't want any lawsuits. We've been just so fortunate. But I'm looking at this, and I am going to dig into it. I am going to dig into it page by page and compare the different paragraphs with the paragraphs that are in our RPA. And I am going to come to my own conclusions, and certainly you will hear about it, because I'm not happy about this at all. I, as a broker, already feel that I'm angry. I think this is wrong. I just think that this is wrong. And here's someone's saying, I tried to submit an offer through .loop on Zillow owned property. It's very confusing. It is. But once you do it, then it's easy. I mean, it took me a couple minutes, and I'm pretty techie. You know, I pretty much understand software and how it flows and how it's written and how it has to, you know, go from beginning to end. And yeah, it was a little funky in the beginning, but once you get it, now they make you sign up with your username and password. Now you just log in as a user, and so your future experiences will be pretty seamless. But in the beginning, yeah, it's a little funky because you have to figure out what to hit. But just the fact that we have to go on Zillow's owns .loop, everybody. We have to go on their site to submit our offers. I don't know. And then the beginning of this video we watched, I mean, come on, they're soliciting the sellers and saying that they can change their listing agent with ease. And, you know, that because many listing agents, and they're saying what many listing agents don't do. Is that ethical? Of course it's not ethical. We don't do that to each other. I mean, I know we all send out postcards. We all send out letters if we have a farm, but we are required under the ethics to say this is not a solicitation. We are not, you know, if you have a broker, fine. This is just information. But it's not just information when you're telling somebody how to get out of the contract. To me, that's a thin line of violating ethics. And I don't know what's going to happen here, but something's got to happen. And I wish Jimmy could have been on the show today, because I know he would have had some things to say, but he had something he had to do. But he will be at my Buffini class this afternoon, and we are going to talk about this. And I'm going to get his wheels grinding, and maybe he'll be on my show tomorrow, and we can, maybe he'll have some time to review this overnight so we can talk about it, because this isn't right. It isn't right. I mean, and I have been upset with NAR since the mid-90s when they gave Realtor.com our listings. And if you know me or have been to any of my classes, you know that I tried back then to stop the automatic syndication of our listings. And what really, I mean, really at the beginning, it didn't seem bad. And so NAR probably thought there's nothing wrong with this, right? I'm trying to figure out why they did it. But they didn't know that Realtor.com was all of a sudden going to be advertising and charging us. I had to pay for a banner for our foreclosure tour bus. I remember that. But I had been paying for banners before that. What's your home worth? You know, and back then even doing seller guides and buyer guides and things on the banner, you know, and paying handsomely for that to generate leads for our agents. And I'm paying to advertise for my own listings. It just, there was something not right about it. And now it's getting worse, everybody. We've got to do something. We have got to do something. We can't necessarily stop the train, right? We can't stop it. Hold on. You don't think NAR knew? I think they knew that they were doing. Well, yeah, it's you know, perhaps. I think that they thought that if you try to think from their mindset, could they get more members? If members listings were syndicated, would more people want to be in real estate and they would make more money? I don't know really what the angle was, but I do know that Realtor.com was making a ton of money back in the beginning by advertising mortgages and advertising our listings and making us pay to advertise on their site to get leads. And, you know, and then we started getting leads. So guess what? We didn't complain. We thought, okay, all right, this is the way it is. I got to advertise somewhere. At least I'm advertising on Realtor.com. Then Realtor.com got bought out, right? And so by Move.com, a company called Move. But anyway, but the problem is then it was syndicated to everybody, you know. And so I, as a web developer, thought, oh, this is great. I can now put, you know, the listings of NAR, of local GLVAR on all our websites and things like that. So there was some good things, but then there was some underlying current, you know, that brings us to where we are today, and allowing Zillow to become a brokerage. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, everybody. Who else? I don't know. What's our board doing for us? We pay them to represent us and protect us. Exactly. That's exactly right. And case in point, and if you watch that video, and if you watch it I've watched it 3 or 4 times already this morning, I'm blown away by it, because I'm thinking, you know, didn't they see this coming? How can we let a behemoth like this become a broker? Isn't there something wrong with that? I mean, I don't know. I know it's a free country, and I'm very much a conservative when it comes to those things. But I think this is wrong. This is wrong. I don't want to use their RPA. I don't want my agents to use their RPA. And they said we will not even look at offers that don't use their RPA. Well, the board. Here's the thing. I want to get back to Margaret for a second. Let's see. I know Dave Crete was vehemently again. He fought like hell. Yes, he did. He did. Yes, he did. Yes, it's wrong. It's wrong. And Margaret, I was going to say something to Margaret. Margaret, okay, think of this. So I understand what Margaret's saying, but I want to say something, because she brings out a very good point. What if every broker in town, and there was a time when other brokers, you would submit your RPA, and the broker would send back a counter offer with their RPA. Do you remember that? And do you know why they did it? Because their E&O insurance required their offers to say certain things to protect the buyers and the sellers and the agents. And that's why they did that. It wasn't an ego thing. It was protection. And okay, so we have the real estate division. They're supposed to protect the consumer. Okay. And I would think then we have the ethics with the Board of Realtors. Well, they protect us and the consumer. This to me is not doing that. If we're all going to be going back to using our own contracts, do you know how much extra work it's going to be? If I find things in here that are going to hurt my buyer, going to maybe hurt my agents, going to hurt my brokerage, and I'm just going to say, okay, we're just not going to sell Zillow listings. Forget about it. Well, that's not fair either to our sellers and our buyers, or not necessarily our sellers, but our buyers. I don't know, everybody. I'm just, I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry. I just can't believe it. And when I heard that video, and I think what I'm really angry about is I knew Zillow, what they were up to, and I knew they were up to this. So I don't want anybody freaking out. Said, do not go there publicly. Right? Yeah, right. Yeah. Anyway, just expound on that a little bit, please. Here's the thing. All right. You know, things change. I said earlier, we have Uber, we have the internet. The internet is a miracle, and it really is. And we can use it to our advantage. And, you know, we talk about branding. We talk about all the tools that we have. And this is our golden year. Zillow's not going to take us over overnight. But if we don't do our job, and our job is to connect with buyers and sellers and get out there, and everybody in town, we have 14,000 real estate agents. Maybe 2,000-3,000 of us are, 4,000 of us are active. Get a farm. Get a farm. Don't let Zillow into our neighborhoods. And that's your defense. So we have a way to fight them, but it's work, you know, and work ethic has got to win, you know. And what legacy are you building for yourself? You don't want to be, what you want to do is squeeze the juice out of your profession, which means go farm, you know, start farming, start getting people to see that we're out there in full force. You know, Zillow's done this behind our back. Whatever NAR's done, whatever Zillow's done, we need to just get over it and move forward. Right? We need to think positive about what we have. We have the ability, we are human beings. We have the ability to interact with the sellers. And we can handle this, but we have to all band together and start working harder. And I'm not saying you're not working hard already. Don't take me the wrong way, please. But sometimes it's not the best hand that wins, right? It's how you play the hand. We can play our hand, and we can go out there and get listings, and we can send, and we can start mailing things again, and we can start knocking doors again. We can start popping by people again, and we can start interacting with people again. Wear our badges, you know, tell people what's going on in our wonderful city with the stats. Carry this with you. When people say, when you have your badge on and they say, oh, are you in real estate? Yes, and it's remarkable. Look at the stats right now. Just go right into it, man. And you know, people will love it when you are on top of your game. They love that. Believe me, they love that. So Zillow may have, it seems like the best hand right now, but it's how we play the hand, and we have everything it takes to play the hand. So, and stop wasting time. Get yourself. I know we're, you know, my husband, okay, he's a salesman. He's a wonderful salesperson. His organization skills, they could be better. He works on time management constantly, and he's been in this business a long time. Time management is the hardest thing, but if you don't get your act together and win the day, win the week, win the month, and win the year, We're not playing the hand that we're dealt the best way we can play the hand. So we already know how to play the hand. What more do we want? We're not going to sit around and whine and cry. We're just going to go out and say, okay, the board's not going to help us. NAR's not going to help us. Fine. We're going to go out and we're going to win this game. We are. I mean, the stats are showing me that this year. And they were showing me that during COVID last year, that the real estate community is stepping up to the plate. Regardless, we had a pandemic and we still came out, doing as good as we could. So I got to go to work. I'm going to have a great day. I nighted up today. We got a lot to look forward to. We've got a lot of things we can do, and we're not going to let this behemoth harm us. And I'm going to get more into it and get more into this contract. And Margaret, thank you for, the comments you made, and Karen and everybody else, because we can do this. We can do this. And maybe we'll get Dave Creed on the show next week. But I know Steve Hawk's out there. He knows a lot about Zillow too. So we're not going to stop. I love you all, and have a great day. We have some classes next week. I always forget I have to promote what I do, right? The 3rd, what is that next? Tuesday, Wednesday. Show Me the Money. Great class for ethics and procuring cause. This may be a great class to take. It may be filled with a lot of interesting things, especially with the developments. I'm going to post this video on the group, and I hope you all have a great day. I'll be here tomorrow with Jimmy Dague, and we're probably going to talk some more about Zillow. I'm going to try to get his take on that contract. And I posted that already in the group for you all to download. So it's a PDF, just download it and look at it and be amazed. And when you see how they're advertising their mortgage company, their title company, their services, and then what they say in bold is, you can use anybody you want, but here's what we do. I don't think that's right.